I would guess that most of you are probably familiar with The Big Lebowski, the Coen brothers movie from 1998 starring Jeff Bridges as the dude. Well, I, like many others, like that movie quite a bit, and in that movie there is a character called Jesus, played by John Turturro, who I also like. Well, this is a spin-off based on that character, and this time it's all about the Jesus. Now, when I first heard about this project, my immediate reaction was no. My second reaction was why? Why would you make a spin-off of a minor character in a movie 20 years later? I mean, first of all, minor characters usually work because they're minor characters. They don't necessarily have the depth needed to have an entire movie revolve around them. They're good in small doses, maybe as comedic relief, but that's about it. Second of all, 20 years is a long time, and I haven't heard anyone asking for this movie to be made. So needless to say, I was very much opposed to this whole concept and thought it was a very bad idea. Regardless, John Turturro thought otherwise and decided to write, direct and star in it. And I actually didn't mind his previous movie, Fading Gigolo. I thought it was fine. So I knew he was at least capable of making an okay movie, and as I said, I like the guy as an actor. Which is really the only reason I decided to give this one a shot. I thought maybe it's not that bad after all. Maybe he actually had a really good idea for it, and that's why he decided to get this whole ball rolling. And the story here starts with Jesus getting out of jail, and he's being picked up by his friend. Which I guess, all things considered, was a good enough opening. I've seen a lot worse. However, it's pretty much only downhill from there, because this movie is a legit disaster. It's easily one of my least favorite movie experiences in quite a while. But before I get further into it, I just want to get the positives out of the way first. Because it's actually a decent looking movie, I didn't mind the visuals at all. And it actually had a couple of mildly amusing moments in there too. But that's pretty much it, because the rest of it is a complete and utter mess. The story here is non-existent. There's no plot to speak of, nothing driving the story forward. There are basically no character arcs, no motivations for anything that's going on here. It's more or less just about a couple of characters drifting aimlessly from one nonsensical situation to another. And even that could potentially be fine if those situations were fun or interesting. But they're not. They're just pointless, meandering, and more often than not, bewildering. I mean, this whole movie is a series of loosely interconnected and incoherent events, epitomized by a couple of the most awkward and pointless sex scenes ever put to film. And funnily enough, the movie even summed itself up in one of the scenes, where the main character looks around confused and says, "Where are we going?" Exactly, where are we going? Turns out nowhere, actually, that's where. Because this is one of the most poorly written pieces of pointless junk I've ever seen. Rarely do you find a movie this utterly devoid of any sort of substance. Even the bad movies I don't like generally have some semblance of a story. Something driving the movie forward and some kind of character motivations. They might be generic, they might be bad, and I might not like them, but at least they're there. At least the writers usually show that they understand the basics of storytelling. Something John Turturro should most definitely do as well at this point. But apparently not, because this thing he conjured up is a hot steaming pile of doo-doo. And I would not recommend anyone waste their time watching this, because it's just not worth it. Oh, and by the way, the movie doesn't even have anything to do with bowling at all. You know, the one thing this character was known for in The Big Lebowski? So yeah, how this movie got made and why, I have not the faintest idea. But you can absolutely skip this one, or you can ignore my advice and watch it anyway. After all, I'm not your dad. But hey, what are your thoughts on this? Have you seen it? Did you like it? Let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, maybe give it a thumbs up or sub to the channel, because that would be fantastic. And if you'd like, you can also support me on Patreon or PayPal through the links in the description. And as always, I appreciate you and thanks for watching.